If you've ever wondered how you can get students to enroll faster in your martial arts school, this episode is going to be for you. You're going to want to share this with your martial arts friends. Don't keep this secret. Okay, the more kids that we have doing martial arts, the more adults that we have doing martial arts, the better. When you start thinking it's like a dog eat dog world and you think like it's you versus the other person in your area, it's really a bad way to think, and it's not healthy. You really want to think in terms of like abundance. Like everyone can achieve, everyone can grow. One of my favorite quotes of all time is from Frederick Douglass, and he says, "It's easier to build strong kids than it is to fix broken adults." And we have a lot of broken adults these days, okay? We see it in the news all the time. No matter what side of the aisle you land, there's too many tragic events that happen throughout the world, and especially in the US, which is most of the people listening here are going to be from the US, okay? You want to have scarcity mindset versus abundance mindset. Maybe you don't want to have a scarcity mindset where it's like either you versus them. Martial arts is really us versus the other sports like soccer and baseball, basketball. So share this episode with other martial arts schools so that we can all grow together as a team. And by the way, if you're listening to this episode and you're like, hey, this is great, I'd love to have more stuff like this, then make sure you subscribe to the Black Belt Business newsletter. It's free, 3 days a week. I post a 3-minute read on how to either get new students, how to retain the students you have, and how to build your team of instructors. Okay, and you're asking yourself, like, how does he even know how to do this? Who the heck is this guy? Well, I grew up in an organization called Action Karate, my brother's martial arts franchise, him and his the co-owner, Jacqueline Razai, and I grew up in the franchise, and we scaled from like when I joined about 12, 13 schools to over 30 schools now. So it's a fly on the wall for all the conversations. Had my own school. I still have martial arts schools currently, but I started my first school when I was 21 years old as part of the organization, scaled to 3. Over a year and a half ago, sold one, and so now I still own 2 of them that pretty much operate by themselves, which is really great. I live in Florida. The schools are in Philadelphia and New Jersey. So I've been in the industry for a really long time and been part of one of the best franchises in the country for martial arts. So if you're wondering, like, does he have the credentials? Well, yeah, I've been part of one of the best organizations in the country and the world. So I learned from like one of the masters, my brother, Solomon Brenner, and his co-founder, Jacqueline Razai. So I'm going to share with you some of the stuff that I've learned from sales books and actually practicing it in the field, okay, in our schools, and some of the stuff I've learned from my mentors as well. So you're not just getting theory, you're getting things that have actually been practiced, things that we do on the daily in our schools. So let's dive in. We're going to talk about the 3 ways to enroll students faster so you don't have people fall through the cracks. Okay, so this is the first mistake I see martial arts school owners do. The first mistake I see school owners do, and whenever they get an appointment, they let the person on the phone dictate when the appointment's going to be. They'll say, oh, like, when are you free? No, you don't tell the person, like, when are you free? Because then they're going to say something far out. Okay, you want to tell them when you are free. Okay, and the more scarce your resources, the better it's going to be. So part of our phone script is talking about how we're busy before we talk about how we're free. And what I mean by that is, like, imagine you're going to ask a girl out on a date, and you're trying to figure out a time, and you're like, I'm free whenever. Like, whenever you want to go, I'm available. Whenever you want to go out on a date for a drink, I'm available. When you do that, what are you saying? You're saying, like, you don't have a lot going on. You're not saying that, obviously, like out loud those words, but that's what she's going to think. She's going to think, oh, maybe this guy's a loser. He has nothing happening in his life. But when you tell them the times that you're busy first, hey, I'm busy this weekend and I'm busy next week, but I do have an opening on Thursday night. Like, if you want to grab a drink then, or Sunday at lunch, I could do that too. Which one do you think would work better for you? And you give people options. So when you and it shows that you're valuable because you have stuff going on. You have a life. Okay, it's unconscious way you're saying it, but when you set up an appointment, do not book 2 or 3 weeks out. You want to book within 1 week. Okay, the further you book out appointments, it feels good. Like, oh my God, look how I'm letting them be flexible and schedule whenever, but it's really hurting you because the further you put out appointments, whether you do a private lesson when someone joins or whether they join a group class, the less likely it is they're going to show up. Ask anyone in the industry who's been around long enough, they'll tell you the same exact thing. Okay, the further out, the worse it is, the sooner, the better. Okay, so here's one of the best ways we say it. Okay, so we'll say like, hey, we're completely booked for the next 2 weeks. However, we do have an opening. It looks like, oh, you know what? I had someone reschedule on Tuesday at 6, or I have Thursday at 5:30. Which one's better for you? And that could be Monday that we're doing that. And we're saying we want that lesson to come in that week. Sometimes I'll even say that day, hey, you know what? I know it's kind of crazy, but we did have someone rescheduled for today at 7. Do you want to come? I have that time, or tomorrow at 4. Which one's better for you? A lot of times I'll just choose that day. Okay. So you want to be scarce about what time's available you give people and say this time or that time. Do not leave it open-ended and you're free whenever, okay? You don't go to the doctor's appointment. You don't call and make a doctor's appointment and they say like, oh, like when are you free? They tell you when they have available and you choose one. Your martial arts school, you're a doctorate in martial arts. You should be treated the same exact way. So share this information with another martial arts school so we can help more kids and more adults get in martial arts because it's gonna help everyone.